I mean, there are no words.
Wow, this guy's kind of a joke, Gutfeld. I just like watching, watching Cuomo's reaction.
No, I mean, okay, when we used to watch Trump during the debates, we were laughing throughout the whole thing because he was having fun. This guy and Trump, they're brothers from another mother. This guy is having a good time.
Literally.
He's done two great things. He made CNN fun for once, and he made Chris Cuomo interesting. I mean, how can you not love him? Of course, and that line about do you thank the doctor? That's priceless.
That was pretty much.
And by the way, this is comedy of a country in good times. The fact that you can like everybody keeps talking about this coming apocalypse under Trump. We wouldn't have time for this. This is actually a nice thing. I think it's fun. You put those two guys together, it would be pretty hilarious.
Yeah, that guy was on the WWE, so was Donald Trump. You have a lot in common, Dana.
I'm going to be on the WWE
in
a couple weeks. Yeah, stay tuned for that.
Oh, boy.
But just imagine for a moment. I'm joking. I'm not really.
Thank
but
you.
imagine the coverage for just a moment, if you will. If President Trump had not intervened for these three athletes, okay? You see a lot of people on Twitter complaining that the president attacks black athletes on Twitter, but he doesn't go after any white athletes. And why is that? But just imagine if he had not intervened and asked President Xi to let these three go, the coverage, the stories, it would be a very different story on CNN.
Quite the double standard.
And here. I mean,
wouldn't
it would
that
just
have
be
been one?
Yeah, but I don't understand why this guy gets so much attention. I mean, so to me, the question was, why did CNN put this guy on the air and give him so much time?
Probably gave him a great rating.
That's what people said all last year. Why do you
About
keep
Donald Trump?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you know what? Point well taken. I have to cede that point. But I think this guy is such a self-promoter, right?
Yeah.
With his $400 sneakers and I mean, it's so ridiculous. Here's the problem for me, Greg. He wasn't even making sense.
But you know what? He was making sense in a different level.
Oh, is that
was
it?
nonsense, which is what I do every day.
Oh,
He's
stop.
doing what I do every day.
Wow, you're going to compare yourself to him?
Yeah, I'm staying with you, man.
Do you think the father's trying to divert a little bit of attention because his son really got caught up in a huge international problem? This is an international incident.
I don't know. He doesn't seem to be so concerned about his son because he's trying to be the jokester and get attention for himself. And I mean, I don't know that there's some, really well-developed plan here.
You think he's winging it?
I think he's winging it, Jesse, and trying to just say, whatever. And he likes probably the attention and President Trump hitting back at him. And so for him, this is like fun. He's like, this is the best.
Yep. He's like, go buy my shoes.
They
deserve each other.
All right. Ahead, more controversy surrounding the Washington Redskins. Was it a sick private joke for the league to have the team host a home game on Thanksgiving? Well, that's what one critic alleges. Up next.
On Thursday, my favorite football team in the NFL will host its first ever Thanksgiving game in the nation's capital. That's fired up the sports editor of The Nation. He, like me, views the Washington football team's current name as a racist slur. Dave Zirin writes, quote, the Redskins slur, a name that exists only because of genocide and displacement, will have center stage. It's as if NFL owners, by having Washington host this game, are having their own private joke. A league that celebrates racial slurs can never be an engine for social justice. Now I turn to my sports bro here, Jesse. What do you think? Is this a legitimate argument for coming from Dave Zirin?
I didn't know the Nation had a sports writer.
Yeah, they do.
But it doesn't matter what you call them, they're going to lose anyway, Juan. I'm sorry to,
How can
break
they
that to you.
Wait a minute. The Giants are 2-8. They're
I'm
the
an
opponent.
Eagles fan.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they would lose to the Eagles. I don't know if they.
So wait a second.
No matter who.
You're disgusted by the term Redskins, but you're okay with Giants who are. Hey, look, here's a big person. Let's call him a Giant.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about the Indians? Juan, baseball? You
Yes,
don't like that
that's
either?
his way of telling you that he's feeling a little emotional about it. And
About
offended.
Giants.
Yes, because
Actually, I do agree with one. I do think the Washington name is bad. I think it's a bad name. But you don't have to be in this two-idea prison. You can agree that the name is bad and still have a game on Thanksgiving.
Sure, but I think Dave Zirin was making the case, Dana, that it's that the kind of the league is just laughing at the public.
Well, I don't know how they choose who's going to play on Thanksgiving, but I can't imagine that they sat around going, "Oh, I know what we'll do.
Let's stick it to
Let's
them."
make sure the Redskins are playing on Thanksgiving to stir up more controversy, like they need more controversy at the NFL." I don't think that's what happened. I think it must have been random, right?
I don't know. They've never done it before. Usually, it's like what the Cowboys and the Lions.
Yes.
Yeah, Lions
That's
play
who
somebody.
always plays.
playing
God,
as well?
and this is your sports guy. I know more than he does. This is a joke.
Hey, Hey, you putting him down now?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, just because he's a guy.
Listen to the 49ers fan talk over there.
No,
okay. No. Well, hey, Jesse, let's go to the expert.
Yeah,
Let's go to the expert. What do you think of this? Is this a legitimate controversy or something ginned up by the left?
I think that this is not a legitimate controversy, and I don't think anybody is worked up over the Redskins playing on Thanksgiving or really thinks, except for like some few like far left crazies, they know who they are, because no one cares about this. And one of the last polls taken, it was like 9 in 10 Native Americans said they're not offended by the Washington Redskins name, according to the Washington Post poll. So who exactly is worked up? You're worked up?
Well, I am worked up. I don't get worked up about it, though, because like you said, like Dana said, I'm just not a conspiracy theorist. So they're playing, you know.
I'd worry more about how they're going to play.
I must say that Dave Zirin quoted people from the Morningstar Institute, you know, representing Native Americans, and they don't like it. But, you know, this voice has been heard. I will say maybe it'd be more interesting if we had, like, Jerry Jones versus Roger Goodell. That would be a hell of a
Or, you know what's more interesting than football? Fox News, which we are having a special episode of The Five on Thanksgiving. Why are we even... Fox News does not take a knee on Thanksgiving.
No.
We will only take a knee if there's an injured puppy whose owners voted for Trump. That's when we'll take a knee to lift up